Welcome to Romance Writers Therapy,
the podcast with two budding romance authors, Kate Pryor and Marty V.
This sounds like when you open up an audiobook and they're like, Audible presents.
That's exactly what I heard in my head. Audible.
I know, I was listening to you like, wow, you really got that Audible. All right, we're starting. That's it. We're starting. We're continuing. We're not going back and doing another take.
This is us being cute for Valentine's Day. I painted my nails for you.
Ooh, I painted my hands.
Aww.
Not on purpose. Actually, funny story. I've been working on this birdhouse.
Okay.
For a while.
I love that.
I bought a balsa wood birdhouse from Michael's.
I want a picture.
With every... I will send it to you. But so then I wanted to make it into a cute miniature because I'm part of several miniatures groups on Facebook. So and they just fill me with this feeling that I don't really know what to do with, but try to make miniatures.
I love it.
It's a weird feeling. I don't know.
I totally understand that feeling. Like, it's not the same thing, but it kind of is. There's a couple of songs, and they always end up being, like, the angstiest of songs. They're, like, one of them is Say Anything. Another one is Bitter Pill by Dashboard Confessionals. Okay. Every time I hear those songs, I'm like, I need to write something that makes me feel this way. Yeah, I totally get it. Like, I don't know what to do with these feelings.
Like, there's definitely songs that are like, I have to write now.
Yeah. Absolutely. But okay, so these miniatures totally sent me like a significant amount of miniatures, and they are very cool.
Yeah, I have.
You have. Yeah, we had like a whole night where you just sent me miniatures.
Oh yeah, the tower. I did send you pictures of my tower. My Pringles tower.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah. I wasn't thinking of that one. I was thinking of like miniatures that you saw via this Facebook group. Mm-hmm.
The calendar. Okay, yeah.
But okay, But
anyway, so this birdhouse is... So I wanted to make a bunch of, like, structural changes to it. So I bought, like, a little pack of, like, balsa wood squares. So I tiled up the roof, and then I realized I had reinforced the roof too much to take out one of the walls. I went to my mom, and I was like, you know how you use power tools? And I am too afraid to use power tools. Could you power tool this wall off? And we tried, and we weren't being very safe about it. Like, we weren't clamping anything down. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of flew off the table when we touched it with the drill. And so then my mom was like, we're giving up on this. And I'm like, what?
We didn't even try.
We tried once. And then she was like, here, have a saw. And I was like, that's not helpful. But I tried for a while to saw it open, and I got like maybe 5 inches of sawing done where I went, this is really hard.
That is so funny to
and
me.
Impossible. And so then today I saw a video of someone cutting balsa wood with a Swiss Army knife, and I was like, I have one of those, and it's so sharp. I'm going to use it.
Is it actually easier than the saw?
It was not.
Okay.
And so the thrilling conclusion is I just started twisting things around with my hands, and then I ripped open my birdhouse.
Okay.
Like the strongest lumberjack.
I was going to say, just with your bare hands. Just
yes!
Chris
I
Evans
can't even open
splitting the log. That was you.
It's because I'm wearing a flannel today. I'm just channeling that energy.
Hello, flannel.
But so now I got the wall off, I can finally paint it, so I spent all today painting it. My hands are covered in paint. That's it. That's the end of my very roundabout story.
Okay, but you have to send me a picture.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
My day was out in the snow with the children all day.
You guys got so much snow.
Yeah, and then we came inside and we had hot cocoa, or as Jude will tell you, warm cocoa. And we watched Bluey, which is just the cutest little show. I love it. It makes us all laugh, which is great. Like, something that is legit funny to all of us. But then also, like, there's these really small, lovely moments of... For example, one of the episodes, Bluey is upset that it's hard for her to learn how to ride her bike with just 2 wheels. And she's like, I just want to be good at it, right? And her dad's like, oh, that's just not how it goes. And then there's these 3 younger kids than her that are all struggling with something else. And she and her dad are watching, and they watch them go through the struggle, go through the emotional breakdown, and then start problem solving their way. And then there's the like moment of success, and it is just done so well that it makes my eyes tear every time that I see it, which is kind of not an infrequent amount. But yeah, it's just like these really precious, like beautiful little moments of like celebrating life. It's great. It's such a cute little show. I love it.
Yeah, the number of times you have recommended Bluey to me,
you know what?
Not insubstantial.
It's not, and I recommend it to everyone. I made my mom watch it. It's just the cutest little show, and it's just kind of like a feel-good, happy show. There are times when we can't figure out anything to watch, and I'm like, what about Bluey? And Andrew's like, we are not going that far. We will not embrace parenthood quite that far as to watch Bluey without our children.
Gotta have some boundaries.
Yeah. I wish he would set them somewhere else, though, because I really wouldn't mind watching Bluey without our children. So I have been in like an editing cave. That's all I've been doing with my life.
You've been editing for like months.
Oh my god, and I still have months ahead of me, dude. I want to keep on getting at least a chapter a month new written on my work in progress. But then like I'm gonna get done with editing Just Fake Married, and I'm gonna have to edit Truth or Dare. And it's just like that's the cycle, and I'm in right now. Gonna be editing for forever. I would like to write someday again.
I would like to get into the editing phase. I'm currently at this point where I'm like, why can't it just be done already?
Gosh.
But it's also like, I only write 500 words a week.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's not done.
You know what? It's 500 words a week, though. Like, it is not nothing. You know, it is still getting the attention that you can give it.
Yeah, I'm not actually mad at myself for only doing that
Good
much
for
per
you.
week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's usually I'd be like, it's not every day. Yeah.
But like, it doesn't have to be every day.
It doesn't have to be every day. I do miss the period of my life where I definitely was writing every day, though.
I do miss the period of my life when like, okay, so like yesterday, Andrew got home from work, and at that point I'd been writing for like I'd been editing for like 50 minutes, and I have to stop. Like, it's time to get food around for the kids. It's time to like do all the things. And I come upstairs and I'm just kind of grumpy. He's like, what's up? I'm like, I just want to write. It's like as soon as I
do this.
Yeah, as soon as I get into like the headspace for it, I have to stop. And like, I miss the days where like I had more than like a 50-minute span that I could write in. And I could do more.
You'll get those again.
I will again. Like, eventually they're gonna go to school. I could do
the far off.
What?
The far off when things are better.
I know.
We didn't want to say.
Oh my gosh. We're waiting for the FDA to approve Ash's age group. I cannot wait. But like, yeah, it'll happen again. And like, I could have more than 50 minutes a day. That would mean that I don't get the other 25 minutes that I just sit and do nothing. Right? And like, that's important for my mental health too. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to do all of the things.
Oh no. I'm a firm believer in the stare off into space doing nothing.
I am a firm believer in it. It really helps me.
I don't want to call it recharging, but like, it definitely is important to do nothing sometimes.
Yeah, there's something about just going offline and just letting my brain wander and not having pressure to like succeed at anything. So I'm actually like super curious about your list.
Oh, well, because we've restarted this podcast 5 times now. We need to tell the listener.
Yeah, because we probably didn't do that this time.
This is. We didn't do that this time. We didn't get that far. We just kind of launched into our days, which, you know, is fine.
And I think it was better for our energy, because the first times we were like, what do we do?
We don't know how to.
We don't know how to have a goal and meet it. So.
I don't think you could put us together in a 3-legged race, because we would run in different directions.
Oh my god.
And it would just...
That would be the most uncoordinated. Like, I would be laughing so hard the whole time.
We would fall over immediately.
Absolutely.
Like, they wouldn't even start the race and we're like in the grass.
I would think it was hilarious. You might be very annoyed with me, but I would think it was really funny.
No, I would definitely be laughing too, but I would also be like, yeah, I knew this was gonna be bad.
The other side of me is like, I'm a very competitive person, so I would also be like laughing hysterically and like, we have to get up and keep going.
Oh no, that would be killing me. I would be like, no, we're staying on the ground.
No, we fell. It's done now. Like, no, we can still win.
There's no fixing this.
Oh man, I want to do a 3-legged race now.
No, I'm so firmly against 3-legged races.
I don't know
carrying eggs on spoons and all that kind of shit.
Eggs on spoons is the funniest, like, most random thing. Oh my god.
No, they're exactly the same kind
they
of
are
thing.
exactly
they happen
the
in
same
the same
thing.
place.
But, like, they happen at the same
Listener, we were going to tell you about our Valentine's Day list.
Yeah, because we're cute like that.
So every year, I feel like romance readers get plagued by every media outlet ever feeling like they need to post something topical. So they make an editorial article or whatever about, here's 15 books that you should read for this romantic season, this romantic day.
Mm-hmm.
The day of the Valentine's Day massacre. You know.
All you need is love. Why do I always plagiarize? Anyway, you talk about a massacre and it just sounded so romantic, so...
I mean, you could get a true crime girl in here. She'd be all over it.
But I do absolutely agree. But it also makes me think about, like, when I tell people I write romance and they're like, oh, like Nicholas Sparks? And it's like, not at all!
No. He doesn't even consider himself romance. He doesn't, stop bringing him up.
Well, and, like, okay, we have women that have written romance for decades. Very common names. And you remember the one man who has a romantic theme in every single one of his novels? And
his tragedies.
Anyway. And then I have to, like, not be an asshole to the person who said that to me because clearly they don't know the genre.
Yeah, because these articles are always written by someone who's, like, never picked up a romance novel before.
Absolutely.
And they're just trying to, like, remember something that they read that had a romantic theme in it. But, like, they're not really thinking about the people who live and breathe in this genre.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're not part of that crowd. But, like, for some reason they felt like, hey, I'll stick my head in the door. I'll wait. I'll be like, hey, guys.
Nobody asked me to come here, but here I am.
I'm here to spill some dumb thoughts and leave. And it's like,
see you next year.
I'm tired of you. But anyway, we were gonna talk about something. Do you remember what it was?
Well, okay, so Kate had this super cute idea that because our beautiful romance reading demographic is going to be bombarded with not romances being dressed like romances for this
or the same four.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, how everyone's gonna bring out Romeo and Juliet, everyone's gonna bring out Pride and Prejudice.
Yep.
And then someone's gonna be like, ooh, The Notebook. And you're gonna be like, he doesn't even go here.
He doesn't even go here.
You know.
And our homecoming king is. So, Kate and I both have a cute little list.
Yeah, we both made lists of books that are romance novels that we like.
Yeah.
And we're just going to recommend some books we like.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll have any overlapping.
I wonder that too, because you have recommended some of these books to me, I think.
Okay.
So, all right, go with one of yours, and then I'll say one of mine. We'll see if we get to them all.
Okay. I have Beard Science by...
Ooh!
I figured that was one of yours.
It's not. It did not make my list. Oh, really? But it is a favorite.
I love this one. It's by Penny Reed. I really loved it because they're both really smart characters, right? Like, they're both intelligent. And I love intelligent people who are dumb, right? And
yes.
And it's done in a really convincing way. So, like, they're too dumb to realize how strongly they feel for each other and that the other person reciprocates. But they're also really smart. And there's reasons why that ignorance in themselves exists. Like, it's just a really...
Yeah.
It's really well done. It's delightful. I loved that book. It got a multiple read for me.
Well, I was just want to say that one of the things I love about that book is that they're both intensely capable people. Yes. And they're also kind of weird people.
Yes,
like,
I love
she's
weird
the
people.
banana queen. Like, she dresses up in this 50s housewife getup. She dyes her hair. She's all yellow all the time. And she just bakes and bakes and bakes. And she's a chemistry nerd. And it's like, this is such a wild combination of things for a character to be. Yeah. But she's so great. And then, you know, like, the book is so much about her coming into her own and, like, really embracing her own capability. And
like, learning, getting to know herself.
And, like, he's also intensely capable, but he's also, like, got all these weird machinations going on in the town. And he's, like, manipulating everyone.
Yes.
And I just loved that.
I do too. Oh my gosh.
And the book is about him kind of stepping back from that.
Yeah.
And, like, letting people make their own decisions and not really trying to micromanage.
And, like, the character growth for both of them is really, it's really fulfilling.
Yes. No, I loved it.
I loved it.
I've read it a couple of
I have
times
to.
now, I think.
And I never reread.
Oh no?
No.
I'm always such a rereader.
I am not.
I only reread the same like 4 books I like.
I'm such a slow reader that I'm very like, if I read this, I don't get to read new book, right? So I just can't reread because of the economy of time.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna be like, the economy.
Because of the economy. You gotta boost the economy, see? All right.
Yeah,
Your turn.
the economy's in such a shitty place. Who has time
Everyone-
to read?
It's all these millennials rereading their books.
Oh my god, they're destroying the book industry.
They're
No,
destroying
okay.
the economy.
The economy industry.
The economy industry. It's big bucks.
Okay. My first book on my list is Well Met by Jen DeLuca.
Okay.
So this is actually the second book in the series, and I think it's worth mentioning that Beard Science is the 6th book in the...
It's the third book.
Beard
Science
Brothers?
is the
Third.
third book in the Winston Brothers series.
Okay.
Well Met is the second book? I thought that was the first book. Because I thought I read Well Met.
Wait, no, oh my god,
Yeah,
you're
Well
right.
Met is the
Well
first.
Met is the first,
Uh-huh.
and so the book that's actually on my list is Well Played.
Okay, yes.
So I fucked that up. I actually read Well Played first, and then I went on to read Well Met. And I think Well Played is still my favorite book, although I have to contend that Simon from Well Met, the first book, is a far sexier character in concept. I think, so Well Met, Well Played
Uh-huh.
had a lot of things. Okay, the writing is just, it's... What's the word for, like, you don't even feel like you're reading?
Immersive?
I just want to say it's easy to read.
Mm-hmm.
That itself is like, oh.
There was this, I can't remember who said it, but someone was talking about that quick reads are really hard to write. Like, they take really good writing for something to be a quick read, right?
Quick and easy and enjoyable. That's such a hard thing to craft.
Really hard. Yeah. I have only read Well Met, and I will definitely agree with you there. Like, that was a breezy read, and it was well written, for sure.
But the thing that I really liked about Well Played was Stacy. I want to say, like, I really love the whole Renaissance thing that is throughout the whole series. Because I do love Renaissance fairs, and I miss going to them.
I miss going to them.
So
I can't wait to go to one.
Reading one was a great way. We should.
I cannot
I don't
wait.
know how we're gonna make that work.
I mean, there's a really good one in Holly, but dude, I'll meet you in Pennsylvania. I'll go to New Jersey. Who freaking cares?
I've been to that one.
Okay.
I've been to the Pennsylvania Ren Fair.
Okay. We'll find each other.
It was like a 4-hour drive, but okay. Okay, so Stacy was just like intensely relatable for me because of like where I was at my life. Like this whole I'm stuck at home in this pandemic. And it was really nice to see someone out, like, have those frustrations be validated.
That's nice, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but also for a book that, like, and one of my pet peeves is when people try to portray technology and online relationships, it always comes off in the hokiest way. It felt seamless. It felt natural.
Really lovely.
It felt very
I need to
true.
Read this. You've recommended it to me a couple times.
So many times!
Yeah, I know you.
But
have to read
it felt very true to how I felt in my online relationships or my long distance relationships that have had to take place mostly online. And also, I just really liked the way that she did the third act breakup because it wasn't this intense drama of like we have to have a big fight and break up that way. It was kind of like it really brought this idea that like the only thing that you need to make a romance fail is someone just doesn't try. Someone gives up. And because like even though the way she confronts him for lying to her and he's like, you're right, and I should back off now, and then it's up to her to realize, oh my god, no, I want you to continue to talk to me but I don't want you to lie to me anymore because I want you to be your authentic self with me. Yeah, I don't know. It was just very well done, and I love it as a book. I think I've read that like 3-4 times now.
All right, I'll stop being lame and maybe I'll take a break from the reread of Wheel of Time because that's an intense endeavor. I should probably pause.
God, you've been rereading that book for like weeks now.
Well, for like months now. I think I started
as long as you've been editing.
December. Yeah, I'm on book 7, and there's only 7 more to go. So.
I thought this was all the first book.
Oh, no.
And I was like, this is a really long book.
No, it's just 14 really long books. So.
Okay,
yeah.
that is also an endeavor.
Yeah.
Okay, your next book.
Okay, my next book is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McKeston?
Quentin?
Okay. Anyway, Red, White, and Royal Blue is just so fun and sweet, and like the characterizations of every single character. There is not a single character that doesn't get life on the page. It's just so fantastically done, and the romantic arc is developed in a really beautiful way. And it was one of those books that, like, I knew it was a romance. I knew I was gonna have an HEA or happily ever after.
You were still worrying.
If it had not given me that HEA, I would have been devastated. It would have just crushed me for these two characters not to be together. And it was one of those that, like, set the premise and really delivered.
One of the things that, like, really struck me when I was reading that was that I feel like if you grew up reading a lot of fanfic and you kind of took notice of the particular kind of styles that kind of congeal, not congeal, that sounds bad. I feel like fanfic writers learn from one another, so their styles kind of blend together a little. You can kind of be like, okay, you two read each other clearly.
Aw, that's really sweet. Well, that also just, like, explains to me, as someone who didn't read fanfic, like, Christina Lauren being able to write together so seamlessly.
Yeah, I think if you spend a lot of time, like, just marinating in other people's type of writing, you kind of you marinate, you take it on. But anyway, it kind of reminded me of, I'm just saying, I bet the author writes fan fiction. That's it. Because it had that voice to it, and I was like, oh, okay. I bet I know what fandoms you are in.
That is awesome. So yeah, hard recommend Red, White, and Royal Blue. What about you? What's your next one?
Okay, my next one is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling.
Okay, haven't read. Another one you super recommended.
Oh my god. When I read it, it was just like, this is the book I've been waiting months for. Like, and I didn't even know I was waiting for it. You know, it was like, I've been waiting for something to get me out of my reading slump, and this is just so good. It's got a beautiful and intensely magical world. World building is spot on. I really love the whole little, like, magical tchotchkes shop that her family has.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, they have, like, all these dumb touristy things, and they're like, our town is, like, intensely touristy. And his family is all, like, doom and gloom and, like, very Hogwartsy kind of Slytherin-y kind of magic. But hers is all very much like if practical magic had been in, like, the 2010s.
That's so cute. I didn't realize that he did magic as well. Dude, I need to read this silly thing.
Oh, he's from a very snobby magical family.
Oh, I love that.
The snobbiest. And she's so completely 180 degrees opposite of what his kind of magic is. It meshes so well. It has the pacing of, like, a 90s movie, you know? A lot of fun characters, very hot.
I love like, that's a good selling point to me, like, the pacing of, like, 90s movies.
Yeah, like, they all definitely had this kind of pacing to them.
Yeah.
This kind of, like, we're all taking notes from Spielberg and doing our own thing. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. My next is The Bride Test, and I forgot to write down the author's name because I'm a professional. And it's the second in the Kiss Quotient series.
Oh, okay. Does it have the same characters? Or
yes.
In-universe characters?
Yeah, it's in the same universe. And the third book is out or will be out. Not sure. Cannot wait for that third book. I loved the Kiss Quotient. I absolutely loved it. And it is super hot, right? But The Bride Test gets the win for me because the stakes were so much higher against the romance.
Interesting.
And it had just a really lovely payoff. So, yeah, The Bride Test is a hard recommend.
Okay.
Yeah. The Kiss Quotient as well. I love them both. Cannot wait for the third book. Anyway, moving on.
My next one is Even Tree Nymphs Get the Blues by Molly Harper.
I haven't even heard of this one.
It's kind of a short one from her. But, like, I really just want to recommend the Molly Harper universe.
Yeah, I've never read anything from her.
I believe she wrote How to Flirt with a Naked Werewolf.
Okay.
So it's just, again, the way she does her characters they're intensely unique, but they don't feel like they're trying to be purposefully zany. It just feels like this is a real person who's got some weird interests.
That's
or
cute.
You know, got a little weird background.
No one's
because
like,
everyone's a little weird, and that really grounds them. Yeah, it doesn't feel forced is what I'm saying. So I like that she has these great characters, but she also has such an interesting spin or way of integrating paranormal into the modern world, and Also, just another thing is I just really love how she does locations, and she really makes the locations stand out. Because How to Flirt with a Naked Werewolf is in Alaska, and you really just suddenly go like, oh god, I want to go to Alaska now.
I love that.
Even Tree Nymphs Get the Blues is in, I want to say, New Orleans. And so there's a whole community of paranormal, like there's a whole town of paranormal. And they just have, you know, like reading this, you're like, okay, there's like a dozen backstories going on here and I gotta read them all.
I love when an author, like builds their world enough that like as a reader, you know all these characters have their own life. If you love a character, you can go read their book. I love when as a reader you can feel like, oh, this character has a book.
Yeah, like this character's the one I wanted to have the spotlight on. Oh good, there's this book here.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing more frustrating with reading a book than being like, this is a character who deserves attention, and then they just never get it.
Yeah, okay. That is me and The Widow of Rose House. I want her to write the rest of that world so badly. Like, the hero comes from this very, like, scientific invention, like, family. It's set in the earth, like in 1910s. And so they are just like super delightful. They're really lovely. And I have their stories in my head and I want them to exist. He has a sister and a brother and a best friend. And like, I already know how I want this to go. Just write it for me, my friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want it so badly and they don't exist. And I don't think they will. And that breaks my heart. Anyway, I love that book too. You should read it, guys. So, but it wasn't actually. It was like one of my honorable mentions.
Oh, okay.
It's not on my list necessarily. It is one of my favorite romances. I just was very particular about picking romances that the romance was really what gripped me more than the exterior plot.
Okay.
So I was very particular about this. You had me at Ola, and again, didn't write down the name, so why would I do that? Why would I do that? What is her name?
Alexis Daria.
You're amazing. Thank you. You had me at Ola.
I'm probably like ever so slightly wrong about her name. I bet I'm missing like 3 letters somewhere. Or I've added some.
Anyway, it has a great cover. And I have to read the second in the series as well. But there were a couple things that I thought were really great about this book. 2 characters they're both in different places in their careers and doing this movie together, or this show together on like a streaming service that I assume is similar to like a Netflix. And so as their relationship is growing, there's actually portions of like the script they're working with, and it really intensifies the romance.
Because they have an on-screen relationship, right?
Exactly, yes. And it really intensifies the romantic story, and like all of their, particularly his reasons for fearing that like love can't overcome, they were really well laid out, and they were really actual like boundaries to break past. They weren't flimsy. And she wrote the ensemble like really well. Did you read that one?
Maybe I read part of it. I don't think I finished it though. Anyway, my next one is Wicked Sinful Nights by Julia Latham. I actually found this one in a sort of like, you know, this little give a book, leave a book kind of thing.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Take a book, leave a book.
Like the little libraries?
Yeah, at a grocery store.
Oh, that's
while
cute.
I was in like upstate New York, and so I took it because it had written kind of like along, like, you know, when you close the book on the bottom, written on the pages, said this book was so good you need to pick this up and read this
cute.
From whoever, and she signed her name. And I was like, man, I have to read it now.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's medieval era, it's a historical, obviously, so she's suspected of murder from this guy who's an undercover from like this council of knights, and he's like trying to suss her out while she's like also trying to, he thinks she's the murderer, but he's like trying to confirm whether or not to like bring her to trial, and she's trying to figure out who actually killed like the old lord of the castle, and you know, they're falling in love while this happens, and it's cute.
That sounds fantastic.
The intrigue isn't so complex that you can't follow it. Like, sometimes when I was watching Game of Thrones, I felt that, like, I'm losing track of all these threads.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty straightforward. I think you can guess who the murderer is before the end of it, but it's cute. I think it really satisfies has that kind of like, I want to read something in a medieval castle kind of itch when like Outlander's too much.
Yeah. I would say that that's like, a pretty hard...
Well, no, Outlander's not medieval, but like, it's got that kind of...
Exactly, yeah. But, like, I would say that's a kind of hard genre for me personally. Like, I don't know a lot of that genre or that time period. So, like, yeah, that sounds really interesting to, like, read in that time period.
I feel like a lot of historicals that I pick up immediately go to Regency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and agreed.
So finding books outside... And, like, I love the Regency era, like, believe me.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to, like, play around with all their different rules.
Yeah, which we're all very familiar with.
Yeah. God, I love watching, like, Emma or Pride and Prejudice with Austen and being like, okay, this is why they're doing this. And he'd be like, oh, okay. And I'm like, all right, and this is why what she said is awful and mean. And, like, just explaining it. And I think he's probably watching it like, you don't need to, like, give me the beat by beat.
You know I know World, right?
No, he doesn't know World.
He doesn't know World?
He doesn't, but he's like, I can read the context clues, babe, and I'm like, no, I must tell you the things that I read.
I just love a Pride and Prejudice retelling.
Alright, what was your next book?
My next book, I've had a really hard time picking. The 5th book was the hardest one for me to pick because Widow of Rose House was definitely, like, a contender. But I've got to go with Araxi Noir, who is a new to me author as of like the middle of last year, and I'm gonna go with the first one I read from her, which is Enemies with Benefits. It's from the Loveless brothers. It's very hot. It's enemies to lovers, coworkers, and like all this stuff, and the way they get unified is really cool. Like the adhesion beat is done really well, but the ensemble she creates and like the way she writes her dialogue, like we'll have one of my favorite moments was like this dialogue between the hero. Eli's a hero? Yeah, Eli. Eli is like talking to his brothers and one of their friends. Heroine's there and he still hasn't like come to terms with like how he feels about her, and everyone else knows but he doesn't, which is a trope I love. I love when like the two main characters don't know how they feel about each other. They're just very conflicted and everyone else is like, you wanna bang, it's cool. Right?
We thought y'all were already dating.
Yeah, exactly. There's this conversation happening and Eli, like, zones out in the conversation. And when he comes back, it's as his other brother is, like, commenting on the fact that he has, like, stepped out of the conversation. Oh, now he's back. And it's just, like, she does this really great job of, like, creating humor. And the world happens when someone's not paying attention, but it's not confusing. And it's just so funny and it's so delightful. And I definitely suggest reading all of them. Any Roxy Noir you can get your hand on. But I'm gonna say, yeah, Enemies with Benefits, the first in the Loveless series. Yeah, that's number 5.
I'm gonna close my list out with Garden Spells, which if you wanted to read practical magic, but you wanted like the detail to be intensely lush and the characters just very well articulated and well thought through and just very complex, just a very interesting way of looking at the world, and the magic like 80% subtler, then Garden Spells is definitely that book.
I have not read Practical Magic, but I've read a couple Alice Hoffman books, and I find her prose to be just really gorgeous. And so what do you mean by really lush descriptions?
God, the way that she describes people and the way she describes food, and it's so wonderful to read or listen to if you read the audio. I adored it, and you can really sink into it. I feel like it's such a comfort book for me.
That's really lovely. The one episode we've done so far where telling us about when a Scot ties a knot would fit perfectly. I just cannot believe it's not one of your 5. I didn't put it on my 5 because I'm like, she's gonna put it on hers. So.
Oh my god. So I definitely looked at my list and I was like, I can do one of two things. I can make this all Tessa Dare, or I can make none of it Tessa Dare. And I felt like if I put one Tessa Dare book on this, it's be like, they're already sick of me being like, read Tessa Dare.
Well, I really love your list.
I spent so many other episodes just talking about how I love her books.
I know.
I think I needed to like give other books a little bit of love.
But also read Tessa Dare, everyone. So
yes.
Well, I love your list. And I want a copy of it so I can seek these ones out and put them on my TBR.
Okay. And in the show notes.
And well, yeah, that's probably a good idea too. So reader can know them as well.
All right. Do you think we gotta wrap it up there, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. God, I said wrap it up to my boss the other day. Like, I made a wrap it up joke, and I regret, because I realized, like, 10 minutes after I said it that, oh, you can't just say that to people.
That's hilarious. Oh.
Like, she totally played it cool and let it roll off, but I was like, oh,
I was joking,
don't say that at work.
I was joking.
No, because, like, so one of our products is, like, definitely a
wrap it up joke? Like a condom?
Yeah, like wrap your dick up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, so, no, one of our products, it, like, repels germs or whatever, and I was like, wrap it up in that. So, you know, all right, I quit. I'm sorry. I will leave.
I'm really glad you did acknowledge that I said that. Thank you. Yeah, that's like one of the worst things about like being in the romance community for me.
You absolutely lose all gauge of like what's appropriate anymore.
Yeah, my appropriate gauge is completely off, and it was never great to begin with, right? Like it was always a little skewed. But like,
I think mine's definitely worse. I think, but I want to blame our company for that.
Yeah, because like part of it is like we found this group that's like, hey, you can't shock me, right? Like we are very sex positive.
God, I sent
you can't
like
shock
the
me.
Worst GIF.
And we were all like, I
expected
it to be worse. Honestly.
Yeah, no, you guys were like, actually, it's kind of hot, and I was like, I hate you all.
I did not say it was hot.
Somebody did.
I don't know who did.
Listen, the next time I send like the Muppet sex gifts, someone block me.
The next time you send it, I'm going to explicitly say, like, hey, I'm not shocked by this, but I also don't find it hot.
Good. I feel like we will need that clarification.
Yeah, apparently you do. But yeah, you like were like, I have found the most cursed of all cursed memes. It's so cursed, I don't think I can share it. And like we're all like, oh, okay, well, and listener, Kate has her own like channel on our Discord that is cursed memes because she just has to share these cursed things she sees on the internet. And so,
I mean, yes.
So we've all been really desensitized to some of the things she's found. Because I do think there was a time, you know, in the past 2 years where if you had shown me that Muppet thing, I would have been like, whoa, there's a lot going on there. But you built it up and I was like, yeah, I just thought it'd be worse. I feel like I've seen things now. I have experienced the world. I have experienced the internet through you. So
I'm glad to have lowered your or increased your tolerance for weird.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right, you want me to like say bye to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them to go away.
I would be alone now.
I'm all socialed out.
I like how you're all socialed out, but like they're not in the room.
I'm tired just thinking of you, listener.
I am tired just talking to Marty, listener. Okay, listener, here's the thing. We're gonna say bye. We're gonna say Happy Valentine's Day. And if you want to follow us...
Oh, you know, I didn't tell my Valentine's Day blowjob story. I did mean to do that.
Okay, but that's such
Next year!
Will you put it on your calendar so you get a reminder? Oh, man. Kate's stories are pretty great. So, listener.
Oh, yeah. No, I think we should do an episode where we just talk about shitty dates.
I think we should too. I really only have like my accidental dates to talk about, but they're pretty good.
Don't all believe me.
Okay, so listener, you can find Kate on Instagram and Twitter and pretty much everywhere at by Kate Pryor. You can find her book Love Laugh Lich on the Amazon, and you can find me at Marty V Author on TikTok and Instagram. And on Twitter, you can find me at author Marty V, which Kate has said I can change that, but I haven't investigated and she hasn't explained it. So, you know, who's to say
show you how to do that.
Who's to blame in this situation? You can also sign up for my newsletter at martyv.com and get You and Me in Quarantine for free.
All right, well, back to the Bat Cave.
Yep. We love you.
Toodaloo.
We'll talk to you next week. Bye.